And good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Filigera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 index for Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. Again, the market performed pretty much to a T what we were looking for and what our analysis yesterday presented. And just to kind of give a quick review, because I've started to fill in the numbers, I did switch all these over so that we can determine what degree they are and how things end and then what degree that ends in. So as we left off yesterday, we had done the 3, we'd gone up in 4. We had suggested, or I suggested, that the possibility that this 4th wave might just extend a little bit further. It did not. It kind of stopped and it started to dive. And so knowing that we were continuing to drop in a minute wave 5 to complete this larger wave 3 off of this level, so it would be a 3, is subdividing. And the best I can count thus far is that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking for that 5th. Now, I didn't put the 5th down there. I mean, I possibly could move this 3 up to here, put the 4 there, and then put the 5 there. Because as we can see, Globex has just started and the markets are recovering, because the market basically closed, regular session closed at about 1265, I think. And the low was 59.50, 59.75, right in that area, yes. And then it bounced back up. It came off pretty much actually after the bell, but within that time frame where they allow people to come in and do what they need to do. And that drove it back down to 12,965. Now we're seeing a little bit of a rally back up. Not really the weirdest thing in the world after such a strong down close. But I'm leaving off the 5 because I actually think that this is just going to maybe bounce a little higher, maybe be held by this hourly 8, and then turn around and come down. And I would anticipate that it's going to go below. Now we continue to have that Fibonacci resistance at 953, so 12,953. And it got so close to being reached today that I don't feel that that's going to contain it if we get a good selling continuing. And it may take until the Asian markets open and the European markets open. So here's the gig. We could at least come down to 12,893. So that's basically 100 points from here. Or if we continue to drop, we have that continued support down below at, I want to change that color again, don't I? Come on, let me have it. Edit properties. 786. Yeah, it is. Let's see if I can change this color. Let's put it in that color. Hit OK. And then, but here's our support levels. 12,893 and then 12,838. So you can see it starts to gap a little bit as we get down here. Now we had drawn that we felt that ultimately the market get down to, because we did have that support, but that was via another extension. And that actually would, I'm going to actually put that in because it's going to add, but we had it was 12,707. And then we were thinking, I actually was going to include that in this zone. So in this particular zone, wave 5 would be equal to wave 3 at 12,692.50. So we have still that ultimate zone down below at 12,707 to 12,700. And then just below, because we're getting a lot of overthrow in our moves today, and I would expect that that's going to continue. And then once that's put in, and we get that 3rd wave, then I'm going to be labeling that 3 or C. Because again, we still have to wait before we put a label above this 5 to declare what actually completed and what degree is this correction that we're now in going to fulfill. So if it's just going to be like maybe an intermediate or even a minor degree, then where we're coming into fits very cleanly as an ABC down done. So we're going to continue to allow the market to tell us. That's the main point. And then we will trade accordingly. Today's trade, by the way, was really good. These were initially the market, the moving averages got out of alignment, so it became a little bit more problematic. But that was pretty much after that initial whip lower, and it was very profitable trading because it was clear. Direction was clear. It didn't always happen the way you may have thought, because again, I'm using a 1, a 2, and a 5-minute chart to entry and exit on when I'm trading. And those moving averages started to get real squirrely before we reached this initial low in the morning and then rallied a bit. Nonetheless, it did end up being a profitable day, and you just needed to follow your moving averages, stay out of the chop, because there were periods of like the market just had no clue, and it just kind of sat and went back and forth in what I call a box of doom. But actually, more accurately, it's a box of crap, because it is more difficult to make money when the market does that, because they're sudden, they're jerky, they whip around, and you can get stopped out. You can, have to close a position because the loss is going to be too great. So a lot of things go on. In any case, for tomorrow, if we rally from here, remember, we're continuing to count series of threes, of 4s and 5s. So again, this was a 4, this is a 5, but this is only going to be the 5 on this degree level, okay? And then we get another. So if I'm going to label this or 3 and then 4 and then 5, that's just going to complete the 5th wave down on this level, the 3rd wave down on that level, and then we're going to get a larger 4th wave correction. Larger in terms of larger than that, okay? More probably in terms it might look like this, and it may take us a day or two to actually get it all put in place. So that could take us through Friday or maybe even over the weekend into Monday. Nonetheless, this is what we're going to look for. If we get a bounce, it's just going to be a 4, another 4, and because I don't have to put a 5 here and we get the 4, and then it's going to come back down and finish. It's going to finish. So there's a possibility that this is not the 4, that if we come down, then maybe that's the 3rd and we still have the 4. So in other words, I could take this 4 off, and what we're doing right now could be a 4. And let me just drop this down because I can tell it's probably very hard to see. So you can see on the 15-minute that I put the 3 there, I put the 4 there because it started to come off pretty quickly, but not necessarily has to be that way. This could be the end of 3 down here, and then we get a 4. Because look at that, that's very sloppy, very nasty. And it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I put the 3 there, then this is the 4th, and I would expect it to come back into here. So, but we're going to leave that open, let the market tell us. But as far as expectations, if we get that type of a move, then that's where I'm going to look. And then I'm still needing an additional decline, new lows over what has already taken place to finish the larger, slightly larger wave 3. And then we're going to get another 4 and 5. So we continue to look for these levels to, first of all, complete this 5 waves down. And then we're going to get a bounce. And then we get another 5-wave structure down. That's going to be on this degree of the wave 5, because this is just completing the wave 3 of that 1 degree up. And then we get a wave 4 on that degree up, and then we get a wave 5 on that degree coming back down. Ultimately, I still believe 2,700 to 2,692. We have an outside shot if this thing really gets going of dropping even further. We continue to have support, and we have 1.618 which, if I had to compare this to wave one, I'd be looking for this, but I'd have to redraw that, to be honest with you, to see where it would come in. And we'll do that if and when we're into that count. Right now, for tomorrow, I'm not expecting a lot of upside other than corrective, but they can be sudden, they can be very forceful. And so therefore you got to be prepared, again, because it can be very tradable. And then look for support levels. First of all, right there, depending on how high it gets, maybe it will end there, but if not, anywhere in between there, down to here and down to here, could end just our third wave, and then begin a fourth wave, another fourth wave correction, and then another 5 waves down. That's it. That's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. I'm going to try to keep this on the short side. Wish everybody a very good trading day tomorrow. The next update will be Thursday, May 13th.